Good evening, Tom. Tom, you're on mute still.
Oh, there we go. Good evening. How are you?
Good.
Oh, that's good. Hey, Debbie.
So we do have a quorum, so we can go with the meeting, Debbie.
All right. Well, it's about 5:57, so we'll wait a minute.
Yeah, I was just letting you know you have your quorum because you have Joseph, you've got Tom, and yourself, so we have the three that make up the quorum.
Good evening, Joseph.
How's everyone doing?
Terrific.
Well, that's good.
Debbie, Melissa Merritt Munson is our new, or Munson Merritt is one of our new design commissioners.
Oh, terrific. Welcome.
Hello. Welcome to the team.
Yes, hello. Welcome.
Melissa, you're on mute.
I'm trying to get a background so you don't see my messy room. So hold on. It's nice to meet you all. Thank you for welcoming me. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, no, that's not messy, so don't worry about it.
You couldn't see the floor. That's why. All you see is this part. My kids.
That's a legitimate strategy.
Yeah, my kids use this room as a kind of an everything room. Everything but exercise room.
Well, my clock says that it's 6 o'clock straight up, so let's go ahead and call the April 13th Design Commission meeting for the City of Bonney Lake to order. Debbie, could you please do the...
Commissioner Kennedy?
Here.
Commissioner Strauss-Boyd?
Here.
Commissioner Munson Merritt?
Here.
Commissioner Parente?
Here.
Commissioner Colbeth? It's not on. Commissioner Benden is not on. Commissioner Weber, I also do not see on. So they're all absent. City staff, Jason Sullivan, Planning and Building Supervisor.
Present. Go ahead.
I see. Betty Brazel, Associate Planner.
Here.
Debbie McDonald, Design Commission Clerk, is here. And we also have Commissioner Colbeth.
And Debbie, it appears that David Colbeth just joined us.
Debbie, are you still there?
Which one?
Strauss-Boyd, the chair.
Well, she's technically not the chair until she gets elected.
Well, actually, okay, outgoing chair.
And we just lost her.
The joys of modern technology.
You'd think we'd have this figured out by now.
You'll never have modern technology figured out. It's just weird.
All right, let's give her a second and see if she can get herself rebooted. Debbie, if you can hear us, you're completely frozen and we can't see you or anything.
Well, I'm not going to say that the sounder started at 6 o'clock right when she disappeared, but I don't know.
In case she dropped, let's see if she comes back.
Yeah, Debbie's back.
I apologize. I had some network issues, so my apologies for that.
Nope, not a problem.
Technology at its best. The next item on our agenda this evening is the election of the 2022 chair and vice chair. I'd like to open for nominations for the 2022 chair.
I nominate Debbie Strauss-Boyd.
Second.
Any other nominations? We'll close the chair. All those in favor of myself, thank you, Tom and David, of continuing on with the chair position for 2022, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Thank you. Thank you for your confidence in me. I really appreciate it. Let's open the floor to the vice chair for 2022. The floor is open to nominations. Oh, come on, guys. I'm not that hard to work with.
And you can volunteer if you want to do it.
So if there's
The
somebody
vice
who just
and the vice chair only serves as a chair. The only duty they have is to serve as the chair in the absence of the chair.
Yeah, this is Tom Kennedy. I'll volunteer if nobody else wants to be nominated.
Thank you, Tom. Is there anybody else that would like to throw their hat in the ring, as they might say? If not, I'll close the nominations. All those in favor of Tom Kennedy as vice chair of the Design Commission, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Congratulations, Tom. You're our vice chair for the year of 2022. Thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah, thank you very much.
It looks like our next meeting, and I got things out of order. I did roll call before, but it appears that our next meeting is on May 18th. How many of you will be able to be present for that meeting so we'll know if we have a quorum? Can you raise your hand? David, you can keep both hands on the wheel.
I'm not sure how to raise a hand. I'm not sure how to raise my hand on this app, but I am available.
Okay.
Oh, just in the camera?
Perfect. That's perfect. Great. So it looks like we do have a quorum for the May 18th meeting. All right. The next thing is that we have meeting minutes from October 13th of 2021 that need our review and approval. Let's take a look at that. All right. So this was the meeting again. I was called to order at 6:02. Was there any additions or corrections to the minutes as they have been written and provided to us? Hearing none, do I have a motion to accept the minutes as written?
Yeah, I move that they be accepted as written.
Okay. Second?
Second.
I wasn't there, but I'll second.
Thank you, Joseph. Any discussion on those minutes? All those in favor of accepting the minutes as stated, say aye.
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 All right, motion carried. The minutes have been approved as written. Okay, let's see. Let me just scroll right back up here. And excuse the dog who is trying to creep up on the side of my chair here, who is becoming quite obnoxious. All right, stop. Planning Commission report. Jason, is this a follow-on from what we've been doing in Planning Commission giving a report of what we've been doing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So this would be for you to report on what's going on with the planning commission since you're the one that serves on both.
Yes, I do. So I do serve on both commissions. And oh my gosh, that was last week. That was a whole week ago. What, Jason, okay, I'm ill prepared.
So the things that we discussed at the last planning commission were the new parks plan RFP that will be going to the city council in late May. If the council approves going out with the RFP, we will put that out and hopefully have a consultant come in and do a new parks plan that will, take about a year to complete. This is just the RFP to get a consultant on board. We've also been talking with the planning commission about updating our transportation impact fee project list. That'll have a hearing probably in June, and then also the same with removing mini warehousing, self-storage facilities as a permitted use. Will not affect this project because this project has building permits invested, but could affect projects going forward if the council passes the ordinance.
And then just for the at the planning commission meeting, then I will give a report out next month. Meet on the first. We did this evening. So it's kind of a back and forth. Hey, David.
I think somebody needs to mute their mic.
I think Jason's background noise a little overwhelming.
Commissioner Colbeth, you have a question?
That was the same question, same statement as Tom. Thank you.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
I apologize for that.
We will live. All right. So anything else, Jason, from the planning commission that you'd like to speak for?
Not at this time.
All right. Thank you very much. Any questions for Jason on the what the planning commission is working on currently? All right, terrific. Let's move on to public comments and concerns. Were there any public comments and concern registered 1 hour prior to this meeting?
None.
Thank you. Any old and continuing business? It appears there is none. Let's move on to new business. New business, the business that we have at hand tonight is a Store It Here self-storage, which is actually an expansion of the current Store It Here self-storage, which is quite a mouthful all on its own. Jason, do you want to go through this project? And is the client on the line tonight?
Yes, I'm going to duck out, not duck out, but I'm going to mute myself. The applicant, Del Corcher, is here to provide kind of an overview of the project. And then Mehdi Brazel, who is our new associate planner, will walk through the city's staff report. And I am going to mute myself so you don't hear my background noise and turn it over to the experts.
Okay, thanks. Thank you, and welcome, Mehdi.
Thank you.
And I'll turn it over to you.
Right, so we have Dale Couture, who is the applicant, and we will start off with him giving us an overview of the project. So Dale.
I think this works now. I've only had like 5 or 6 Zoom meetings today, so it works out pretty good. Basically, this is an expansion of the existing facility. There was a need to expand the facility since there was such a requirement that was being voiced. So the client purchased the property behind it, and we spent the last year or so working with the city, refining our designs and everything so that they would match everything that is desired in the city. We're keeping a lot of standing timber in there on the north side where there's more residential on that one, so it'll be a screen on that one. And we think it's a great project and it'll be a great benefit to the city.
Thanks, Dale. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here, if I can get it going. Let me know if you see the site plan there.
We can see it.
Perfect. All right, so as Dale said, this is an expansion of the Store It Here facility. So the original store,
Maddie, were you wanting to show the site plan or the conditions of approval?
the site plan for now.
I'm just seeing conditions of approval.
Oh, snap. Okay. 1 second.
I think you might need to go one page. Sorry.
Yeah. There we are. Oh, wait, maybe not. Kidding.
There you go. You have the site plan up now.
Yeah. I think I prefer this one here. So, all right. So, as Dale said, this is an expansion to the Store It Here facility, which is located in this area here. Majority of the site will be taken up by the proposed 10 buildings. So there is one building here, another building, 3 buildings here, and then 6 buildings along the end, along the south property line. They're also proposing about 33 RV parking stalls, a stormwater retention facility, and all within this area here is retained trees. Majority of the conditions, so let's start over there. Staff believe that majority of the site is per code based on approval of the conditions of approval that we've drafted up. Conditions of approval, I will get there now. Majority of it is just updating the landscape plan to include certain criteria that needs to be met throughout. Mainly, plantings need to be updated to meet the criteria of the code, as well as producing landscape islands for the parking area of the RVs and the 30% coverage for shade or shading of the trees, so of the vehicle use areas. Other conditions are increased pedestrian plaza, and then just certain bicycle parking area requirements, mainly a cover over the bicycle parking. But as I said, we believe that the project meets the code pursuant to the approval of these conditions. So I am stopping there and opening it up for questions. So yeah.
Commissioners, any questions for Maddie or for the client? Either one.
Just a quick question. I think that just was a directional from the site plan and what you mentioned. The trees are retention mostly on the south side. I think the comment was that there were tree retention that was on the north side from the client, but I think that just was just a semantic issue. It appears from the site plan or from the staff report it's the south side. Is that correct?
It's actually majority of the east
right
side. And yeah, that's where the conservation tract will be for the retained trees, in between the development and then the stormwater pond.
But what type of fencing is anticipated around that forested area?
We're anticipating a split rail fence so that wildlife can come through. As for the actual facility, of course, it's going to be a bit more than the split rail fencing, but yeah, to go around the retention ponds, we were proposing a split rail fence.
Okay, but the rest of it will have probably at least an 8-foot cyclone type fence.
Dale, do you want to speak to that one?
That'd be correct. definitely need to have security.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Okay. I like the fact that you have additional RV parking. I think that's important. I think that's a really nice add-on to the facility. So it's more than just, for a secured, and I believe that they're heated. I remember reading on here, storage areas. So is this accessible 24 hours a day to folks who have their storage units there?
I would have to check on that. I believe so.
Okay. All right. Do you want to talk a little bit about what the exterior materials are? It appears to be the same as the current facility. Is that correct?
Similar to, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Commissioners, any other questions for Maddie or for the client this evening?
I had a question about connectivity. I was thinking, and this may be a question for Mehdi or for Jason or whoever, maybe Debbie, since you're on Planning Commission. On the site overview, and when you look at the mapping, it appears there's only a single access on 216th there. And I thought at some point, as part of the overall plan, that there was going to be connectivity off of 410. The name is escaping me. An access road, to what would be to 100th, I think it was. Like, for example, over to the new apartments that have been built. So rather than have to have somebody come out of those hundreds of units of apartments and go all the way out to 410 and come back down and likely make a U-turn to get in there to access this. Is there no plans for connectivity on a side road of any kind? Any of these parcels as they're developed?
There, not in this case. I'm sorry if I'm jumping in, but if you want to take this, 101st is actually a private street, so therefore we can't put just general public access on it because we don't actually own it. And actually, from a traffic flow pattern, we're having more of a problem with traffic coming up 214th. So adding more traffic at 214th, it has to then go through that signal. At 214th and 410 is actually less of what we're trying to encourage. So there eventually will be a roundabout at 224th. And also, if you drive through the apartment complex, once you make the turn and you get on, I think it's 100th, 100 actually goes east and will tie into the roundabout when all of those projects are developed. So if you go out there and look at the fencing company that's out there, their part of 100th is built. The apartment that's under construction right now is building their section. And eventually there'll be a side road that goes from 219th by the Buttered Biscuit all the way down to 224th. And then there's a roundabout at 224th. But we actually, Dale's original plan actually had a driveway on 214th, and we required it be removed because of its proximity to the intersection and the traffic volumes on 214th.
So, Jason, will that, in essence, frontage, will that run parallel to Entwistle? Sorry.
East of the site. So from Buttered Biscuit to 224th, yes, it'll run parallel to Entwistle. And there's eventually a plan that eventually Entwistle will connect to 214th, and then there'll be connections between 100th and Entwistle. When that'll occur, I do not know.
Isn't there a right turn out onto 410 in the site plan?
No, I don't think there. I didn't see one there. 214th is completely blocked off, Tom. So my concern goes back to there's still no connectivity to 216th in any manner. So it's in and out, one north and south on 216th only.
Yeah, it's a roundabout. It's a cul-de-sac, and then they would go out to 410.
Right.
Bummer. Boy, that'd be nice to connect to 101st.
Yeah, this property actually doesn't have a legal right to connect to 101st.
So 101st is a private street, and it's who is that owned by then? Is it owned by the storage?
It's actually an easement over all those lots that go back and forth.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Any
I was
other?
actually having the same question. I was having the same question, so thanks for elaborating that.
Yeah, and certainly, and David, I kind of call these, like a frontage road almost, where you get off the main and you're able to access or connect, as you were talking about, with the businesses that are on one side or the other. Kind of like what happens when you're in Fred Meyer. You can actually, traverse all those areas all the way down to Safeway at 214 within the connecting parking lots and access ways. So.
If I could clarify, now that I look at the map again, I was not referring to
All right.
101st. I was referring to 100th. I was referring to 100th. To the east there, the 100th Street could, come behind Mazatlan and potentially connect on the north side of this development. That's 100th Street was. I said 100th. I thought it was right, but I wasn't thinking about 101st. Not the south street, but the north side of the development. Hunter Street goes behind the new, cuts through the apartment behind Butter Bistic.
Yeah, hold on a second, Commissioner Colbert. I'm going to pull up a map and maybe I can explain it a little bit better.
So, Colbert, or David, that's actually the one that accesses the fencing or the, is it a scaffolding company that sits back there off the scaffolding fencing? I can't remember what that is. I drive by it.
Security,
I should know. Is that the road that you're talking about?
I don't know if it goes that far east. It must, but it's the one that was built between Butter Biscuit and the new apartment complex. It goes
Gotcha.
goes south, and then in the back of that, behind Butter Biscuit's 100th. It's not built yet, but that was where it would go, which would on the far east side would connect with this new development.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I was hoping that there would be at least some plans to connect 216th at a roundabout at 216, or not, a connection at 216th on the north side where this is proposed to connect behind Mazatlan, behind Butter Biscuit, over to 100th would seem like a logical.
Right. Jason, were you sharing something or did it?
Someone's trying to.
We're seeing a blue screen with a little white dot bouncing around.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, right there in the center. It's not much of a road right now, but you're muted, Jason, if you're talking.
So this is 216th. This is the area of the development. The future 100th doesn't go past this way. This is actually all parking lot for this development. There's a parking lot here. So 100th basically comes in, makes a 90 degrees. This section's getting built right now. And then this section got built with that fencing company got built, and then there'll be a roundabout here. So that's the connection there. Eventually, the apartment complex did provide for an extension of Entwistle. This connection will eventually come down and connect into Entwistle. I don't know when, but there isn't a plan to bring 100th over this way. The plan was to keep this traffic to funnel out, because it's just these two lots funneling out to 410. And then this area right here, which you've only got kind of these three lots, because this one does have access to 100 if it ever redeveloped. Basically, these three lots would just still connect down to 214. If that makes sense.
It does.
I'm following your explanation, but it's disappointing that there's not a connection at 216th there.
We just didn't, when we looked at it, because of some of the grade issues through here, and because of where this road would come out at on 214th, we didn't feel like extending the road through here would be prudent, because you basically would have to take out part of the Mazatlan parking lot in order to get it extended through. that with these two parcels being developed, as long as they had their access to 216th and then out to 410, because it's a right in, right out, they'll be able to come up and use the turnaround for turnaround type things. And with the type of development that's being proposed, there's not a lot of traffic generation, so that really won't have an impact on 410. But allowing all of this traffic here to flow out to 214th would have a significantly higher impact.
And I would not, I would agree not to extend it all the way to 214th, but if someone's headed west on 410, how do they get there?
They would, you can make eventually 214th is going to be a roundabout too. That's what, I should say this. To be official, the council has not voted to build the roundabout, but the State Department of Transportation's Intersection Control Exchange report says it needs to be a roundabout. So if the roundabout is built ever someday, that's where you would have a U-turn to come back up 410 as well. And I believe that there is a left turn pocket there. So if you're coming west on 410, you can turn left into those developments.
Into Mazatlan? I think you can turn left in
No, you can't. No, you're right. I was thinking up further for the other storage facility. There's a left pocket, but you're right. Yeah, this is a right in, right out. So they would have to, if you're coming the other way, you would have to do the U-turn and come back up to it.
Which, I guess if Vince is retired, but if you ask Vince, a truck with a trailer trying to get to there, or a 30-foot RV trying to get eastbound on 410, making a U-turn, it's again, it doesn't seem to be easy access.
Yeah, they would probably, David, what they'd probably have to do is go up to the 224th light, cut through, and come back up on South Prairie, and then make the right.
Yeah, it's exactly how you'd have to do it.
Long round, yep.
But we see most of the traffic actually coming east on 410, not west.
Okay, any other comments, questions, issues on this project?
And you had mentioned that there'd be fencing. I see that there's a walking trail or some kind of a sidewalk or something on the north side there. I assume the fencing will obviously be on the south side of that walkway. Will that be maintained by the city or maintained by the owner?
That pedestrian path would be maintained by the owner. And yes, the fencing would be to the south of that because it provides pedestrian connectivity from 214th to 216th.
Any other questions? Clarifying comments?
I just have one comment. I actually didn't have to look up any plants on this plant list. They're all very good native plants, so you guys made my job easy.
Yes, we love it.
I didn't have to look and see if there were any palm trees in here, but no, they're all very good plants. So I was very happy to see that. So good job, guys.
Thank you, Joseph. Last call for comments or questions. Clarifying questions? Hearing none, I would like to entertain a motion from the commissioners to accept this plan.
I'll move.
Do we have a second?
Yeah, I'll second Tom Kennedy.
Okay. Any discussion?
Do we need to give approval with staff recommendations for changes?
I was just going to say that, David, is that because there are 14 items that have been notated by the by staff that need to be met in order to be in compliance with the design requirements for that area. So
Friendly
thank you.
amendment.
Okay. All those in favor of accepting the staff report as written with the 14, what do we call those? I apologize. With the 14 needs that must be met based on the development regulations, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion's carried. So this project has been approved by the Bonney Lake Design Commission. And so, so Jason and Mehdi, you'll do your magic with the work. And thank you for all this effort. It's really, really nicely done. Thank you.
Mehdi needs all the credit. I was just here talking about the larger planning context. She has come in and rescued the city. She's actually taken over for both Nate and Mary here at the city, being our only associate planner. So you will be seeing a lot more of Mehdi as projects kind of get ramped up over the next couple of years.
Perfect. Thank you, Mehdi. We're looking forward to working with you.
I'll be here.
Perfect. All right. For good of the order, is there any correspondence?
None.
Terrific. Any staff comments?
I do have a couple. I mean, Debbie, probably you already heard this spiel, so I'll give it to everybody else. As you know, the Public Service Department merged a couple years into one large department called Public Services. We are moving out into our new building. I am hearing it's now June, Debbie, before we will be moving out there. So we're hopeful that sometime in July, maybe we might go back to in-person meetings. I'm not 100% sure. But as part of that, we'll also need to have a tweak done to our bylaws for the Design Commission, changing this official seat from the Justice Municipal Center out to our new Public Services building. And that hopefully will be coming through. Like I said, we're hoping to be moving in June, so I'm looking at hopefully July-ish for any meetings that we may be able to have out at the new building in person. I'm still trying to get that all figured out.
That's exciting. Yes. It'd be nice to meet everybody back in person again. Gosh, only been, 2 years?
Yeah, and if you want to drive by and see it, you just go down 96 behind Walmart, and between 214th and 233rd on 96, right after you make that right by the Walmart, depending on which way you're coming, either right or left, you'll see
You talked about Home Depot.
I'm sorry, Home Depot. I apologize.
Yeah. I've been driving by Home Depot, Walmart.
Yeah, I'm tired. But yeah, it's a big building that's being built out there that's going to house all the public works crews that are currently over at the old City Hall by Allen Yard Park, plus all of us on the third floor. Will be locating at that building in June when it's finally constructed.
It'll be very cool. We'll be looking forward to it.
Will there still be an option for remote?
We're trying to get all that figured out right now. And the reason I say is I don't know is the thing that allows us to do remote meetings, from my understanding, is the governor's emergency proclamation. And once the emergency proclamation goes away, do virtual meetings still meet the public? Before it really didn't, so we didn't do them. But now that we've been doing them for 2 years and people's confidence levels have gone up with them, there might be a change. So I have more questions than answers as we come out of that, because the proclamation for the Public Meetings Act was tied to the state of emergency. So as long as the state of emergency stays in play, the kind of changes to the Public Meetings Act stay in play. When the state of emergency expires, then it expires. What happens after that, I don't know. And then also we can do hybrid meetings, and what that entails, we have to get our heads wrapped around too. So it may change and it may not. So like I said, more to come on that, but I'm hoping that we'll be able to have an in-person option. We may not be able to. It's just going to depend on if I can get IT feeling comfortable enough with us running the system without them having to be there. So, because that's been the big issue, is the cost of sending IT people out to support it. But hopefully we have a lower a lower tech setup out there, so hopefully it will work. But I have to get with Dale and get that squared away.
Okay. Any other staff comments, Jason?
None for me.
Okay. Any commissioner comments? Melissa, I don't mean to put you on the spot.
I was going to say, Debbie, I should take a second and introduce Melissa Munson as our new design commissioner. I apologize, Melissa, but yeah, she volunteered to serve, so she's our latest design commissioner. Melissa, I'll turn it over to you if you have any kind of introductory comments that you'd like to say.
Okay, so I guess I do. Thank you for welcoming me here to, I was going to say Camas Prairie because that's where I work, but you know, that's old news. So to the Design Commission. I work out at Camas Prairie at an elementary school out in Spanaway. I do a lot of service with the Bethel School District, and I've been having the hankering to get into my own city. This is where I'm from. I have 2 kids. I have a husband. And so my whole family's from here. And so the opportunity was there. And so I volunteered, and here I am. And so I'm happy to meet all of you.
Well, welcome, Melissa.
Melissa, aren't you also a commissioner on another commission?
Yeah, don't ask me how I got roped into 2. This was my first choice, and then it just so happens that Dave over on the Arts Commission knows my grandma really well, and he said, "Hey, aren't you Marge Munson's granddaughter?" And I said, "Why, yes, I am." And so he asked if I would also join that commission. So I'm on both. Yeah, but you know, and I my job is I'm a school principal, so I have my hands full there too. So I pretty much got my hands full all the way around. But it's okay. I'm a good time manager. It works.
Well, welcome, Melissa. I'm going to ask the other commissioners if they could briefly introduce themselves to Melissa so that she's also familiar with all of us. So I'm just going to go to the top. So Commissioner Colbeth, would you introduce yourself?
Sure. Obviously, I'm David. Currently a real estate broker, and I live in Bonney Lake off of Angeline. Been on the commission a long time, not since its origin, but a long time. Very nice to meet you. Welcome to the club.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you.
Commissioner Parente.
Hello. I am a fairly recent member as well. I only just joined about 2-3 years ago-ish. I'm a professional landscaper, so I'm the kind of plant guy, and I check out to make sure that they're not putting weird plants like palm trees and stuff like that. So yeah, so I kind of alluded to that earlier. So yeah, but I've been doing it since then, and it's been kind of fun. So it's good to have you on the team. Yeah, thank you for coming.
Are you judging the palm trees? I have one in my front yard, and it's looking really rough right now. I'm not gonna...
I do. I'm all like, no, they shouldn't be here. But you know, because I also have a biology degree, so in botany. So for me, I like to see happy plants where they're supposed to be, planted in the right place, the right time. You know. So.
Yeah. No, funny. So, my dad planted this one in my front yard, and I'm like, do we really need a palm tree in the front yard? Like, and here it is. And I was literally looking at it, going, what the heck am I gonna do with this stupid palm tree? It's looking so sad right now.
Yeah, no, because I'm also a master gardener, so it's like I have a few things. So I'm like, yeah. Well, if you ever cut it down and you want a better a suggestion for a plant, I got a long list. So.
Thank you.
It was nice meeting you.
Commissioner Kennedy.
Yeah, hi. Melissa, welcome to the commission. I've been on the commission since 2007, I think it was. My background is I was a longtime Boeing engineer. I retired in 2020, and it's been a lot of fun.
Thank you. Nice to meet you, Mr. Kennedy.
Nice to meet you.
Well, I'm Debbie Strauss-Boyd, and I've been the chair since its inception, which has been about 20 years. So I think the Design Commission, 20 years we've been up and strong and going. Sometimes we meet a lot more than we have had in the last couple of years, but it's pretty amazing. So, Melissa, I'm really excited to have you, and welcome to the commission. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to any of the commissioners, and we'll be more than willing to help you make that adjustment. So thank you.
And the same goes for staff. if you have any questions or just want to talk planning, either Betty or I could answer all those questions. Betty's a wealth of knowledge. And just as a side tidbit, don't believe anything Debbie says. Yes, we did go to college together years ago, so she has horror stories on me probably from college when I was in my youth and a little more petulant in classes. So don't believe a word that she says. That's
I
my.
didn't even know he had a first name. Everybody called him Sully. Everybody in school called him Sully. So I didn't even know he had a first name, frankly. I thought it was Sully. So. All right. Any other comments from commissioners? Yes, David.
Debbie, just a couple questions. I had some connectivity issues when we were first starting, and there was something about a meeting on the 18th. Is it an adjustment for next month? I thought it would be the 11th. Wouldn't it be normally the second Monday or second Wednesday? Sorry.
Take a look here. That would be absolutely correct. So Jason and Debbie, should it be May 11th or should it be May 18th?
It should be May 11th.
Okay. Thank you, David, for catching that.
So, yeah, because what we did, David, is me and Debbie pretty much have all of the commissions here at the city. The only commission I'm not the staff lead for is the Arts Commission. So we moved all the commissions to Wednesday night. So the Design Commission will only ever meet the second Wednesday.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Because the second Wednesday, because Arts meets the 4th. And so that we're not duplicating nights. We just have, every commission has one night. So Planning Commission is first, Design Commission second, Park Commission third, and Arts fourth. And we have people that serve on both, so having them where they could have overlapped meetings was also a good thing. So I should have mentioned that earlier. Thanks for catching that, David.
I just want to make sure I didn't hear it correct.
We moved it to 6 o'clock from 6:30. So now all of them, I believe, Jason, all the commissions start at 6 o'clock, correct?
That is correct.
My only other question was, I saw in the email that we had an opportunity to attend council work session to take up some training in June on the 7th, was it?
Yes, everybody should have received that. Everybody has to have their Public Meetings Act, records retention, and I think one other training. And they'll be doing a training at the City Council on June 17th. That if you want to come and get the training then, that would be great. Otherwise, you'll have to watch all the 7th. You'll have to watch all the videos yourself. So that would be, I would recommend doing that if you're available that Tuesday night.
Do you happen to know if there's any opportunity for virtual with that one, or is it only in person?
No, city councils are hybrid, so you can do them virtually or in person. I think you won't be able to ask questions because you're not a staff. I don't know. I can get with Sadie to see if you're going to be there virtually, let me know so I can get with Sadie and she may be able to unmute your mic if you have questions. But otherwise, yeah, she'll at least be able to call in and watch the training.
Just in case.
Okay. Any other comments? Hearing none, a motion to adjourn.
I'll move, but just before that, congratulations, Debbie. Thank you for continuing your service, and also Tom. Also, thank you for continuing your service.
Thank you very much, David.
So I move to adjourn.
I second.
All those in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carried. The Design Commission is adjourned at 6:46 p.m. on April 13th. Okay, everyone. So we will see you on the 11th next month, not the 18th. And we'll look forward to continuing on with all of our good work. So thank you, everyone.
All right. Thank you. We'll see you all later.
Have a good night.
All right, thank you. Bye.